Wine was in the kitchen and she asked the maids to prepare Jungkook's favorite food. She wanted to check if everything was perfect and help them along. Once everything was done and they set the table, they all left leaving Wine alone in the home. She went to closet grabbing the file she just received today, which was showing the positive pregnancy test details. Wine. He's going to be so happy. God, I'm so nervous. It was almost time for his return, and as if the angels heard her prayers, she heard the sound of front door opening and instantly hid the file. She sat in front of the mirror as if she was getting ready and took a deep breath. Jungkook entered right after and leant against the closet wall, staring at her. Wine. Oh, you're back. Evening, baby. He placed his coat away and stepped inside towards her. Jungkook. Evening, Mrs. John. He took the earrings from her hand she was casually holding and helped her wear them himself. Wine. I got your favorite food prepared. He held her wrist and pulled her up, placing a kiss on her lips, and he was blessed with a blush on her cheeks. Jungkook, give me 5 minutes. He went to change up, and that's when she grabbed the file and smiled at it excitedly. When Jungkook came back out, he was now dressed in his casual sweats, which was always such a hot sight for her. Wine. And I have a surprise for you. She extended the file which he took. It was the look on her face which told him he needed to prepare himself for whatever was going to be found inside the papers. Jungkook, you are. What? She squealed internally at the way he stopped functioning for a moment. It was the kind of reaction getting out of the mighty John. The world wouldn't believe that. He inhaled in, closing the file, and looked at her, still comprehending what just happened to him. Jungkook, come here. He wrapped one of his arms around her waist and pulled her towards him. Her feet flew off the floor and she laughed at his reaction. The way he hugged her tightly and kissed her head multiple times. She threw her head back and he kissed her chin. Jungkook, do you know how adorable you look right now? Wine. I don't. You tell me. She said playfully, and he chuckled, putting her down on the dresser and stood in between her lips. Jungkook, when did you find out? Wine. I was feeling nauseous for a few days, so I decided to check it out. I was not sure if it's real, but even if there was the slightest chance of it to be real, I wanted to keep it a surprise for you. Jungkook, it's completely natural. Everything I'm feeling right now. I had no idea how the presence of my child would feel like, but whatever it is, it's beautiful. Jungkook, a feeling that I'm getting another you. Wine, shall I be jealous of my own child? He scoffed and she laughed while he picked her up, taking her to the dining table outside. The two ate while excitedly listing down everything she wanted to do, buying clothes and things for the baby, setting the separate room, and all those excited talks, while he listened to her quietly, admiring everything about this version of her. Once the two were done with the food, he was sitting on the couch checking her file, and she was preparing them a coffee. Jungkook, Which hospital is this? You should have gone to our personal doctor. He didn't trust anyone else, especially in her case. Why? So he would tell you before I even found out? That's a huge no. Jungkook. And you took any security? Why? Come on, I'm all fine standing in front of you. Jungkook. Let's not repeat it, okay? You know how things are. Why? It's really fine, but okay, I'll take the security next time. I haven't fainted there, but now, standing in front of you all fine. Jungkook instantly turned around to look behind him, at Wyan, where she was standing pouring coffee in the cups. Wyan, oh my god, before you freak out again, I fainted in a hospital. Of course, they treated me immediately. Okay, he was not okay at all with that. He needed to increase the security around the home to make sure she never leaves alone again. As much as he hates taking her independence away, some things need to be done to save her from a bigger problem. He took a mental note to send someone there and check if everything was fine during her visit. He was lost in his thoughts when he heard the sound of something falling. When he looked at her, she had her eyes wide open, fear evident in them, and the phone on the floor that slipped out of her hands, seemingly to be out of the shock. He instantly stood up and went after her to hold her. But his fate came to a halt when his eyes fell on the mobile screen that slipped out of her hands. It was his wife's picture, a nude to be more specific. He picked up the phone and swiped through the picture. A total of 13 pictures, and all of them were nudes taken by someone, which definitely was not him. It was the way his aura started to change, and the anger started to take place in his veins. Pressing the back button, he found out it was sent by an unknown number, with a text alone. Hi, beautiful. Do you remember me? I was great doing your checkup. How about we meet tomorrow again for another checkup? One, Jungkook, what is this? I don't know when this happened. She was freaking out, her hands shaking and breathing unstable. Jungkook, you said you fainted. He tossed the phone away and it was the best effort he was putting in, keeping himself calm before her. The stress was not good for her in this condition. One, he just, oh god, she hugged herself and stepped back. Jungkook held her before she tripped on her feet. Jungkook, Wine, look at me. Wine. He shook her a bit to take her attention. Her fear-filled, wide eyes fell on him. Jungkook, I'll take care of this. I'll handle it myself. Nothing happened, okay? It's alright. It's completely fine. He moved her in his embrace. He was scared of being around her at this moment. He was afraid he was going to hurt her in his anger, where all he wanted was to burn that man alive. Ryan, I'm so sorry. I should have not went to an unknown doctor and without security. She cried and he tightened his arms around her to provide her with his protection. Jungkook, there's no way you would have known. Let's not do it again. He pulled her back and cupped her cheeks. Jungkook, Princess, it's okay. I told you, your husband will take care of everything. Ryan, I know, I trust you. She took a deep breath and hugged him again. His eyes fell on the forgotten phone on the counter, still displaying her picture. Jungkook, let's get you ready to meet him. To be continued.